3 days after Andy Enfield abandoned USC basketball for the purgatory that is Dallas, Texas, the Trojans hired former NBA coach Eric Musselman from the University of Arkansas. Hi, I'm James of Faithful Angelino Sports with breaking news. Eric Musselman becomes the home run hire for USC basketball. And if you enjoy talking about Trojans athletics, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We talk about the Trojans almost every day here. Now, terms of the deal were not released, but what we do know is that during Musselman's tenure at Arkansas, he was the 12th highest paid coach in the NCAAs. Hard to imagine that he would come all the way west without getting a bump in pay. Musselman is one of the few coaches who would be a credible hire, either at the collegiate or the professional ranks. In 5 years with the Razorbacks, he compiled a record of 111 and 59 with 3 NCAA tournament bids. In those 3 bids, Arkansas also reached the Elite 8 twice and the Sweet 16 another time. Having said that, the Razorbacks, just like USC, missed the NCAA tournament this past year. That, by the way, caused some sturm and drang over in Arkansas, which has a stronger reputation in college hoops than USC does, to be frank. Arkansas has won a national title. USC hasn't even won the Pac-10 since 1985. Now, that would not necessarily be the primary reason that Musselman would take over the Trojans program, the idea of get me the hell out of Arkansas. But he is a West Coast guy, having coached at San Diego in college, as well as the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings in the NBA. He was once considered the runner-up for NBA Coach of the Year. He's also the son of another former NBA coach. He comes to a USC program that in the span of a week has just plunged into chaos. As many as 8 players could leave, and at least one recruit has withdrawn his commitment to play for the Trojans, specifically citing Enfield leaving to coach SMU. That move, by the way, Enfield leaving, came just 3 days ago. Musselman could wind up in an interesting battle with UCLA coach Mick Cronin, who vowed during the season to implement the transfer portal to restock the Bruins. Now, regarding players with the Trojans, it can be assumed that Musselman will have to replace all 5 starters from last season's team. Earlier today, for example, forward Kobe Johnson said he would transfer to UCLA. Johnson was a defensive presence that the Bruins would have desperately needed last year as a 3-and-D wing. We have not heard from Bronny James yet if he will stay at USC. A reporter falsely claimed earlier this week that James entered the transfer portal. Sources, meanwhile, told the LA Daily News if James left SC, it wouldn't be to transfer, it would be to go to the NBA draft. We do know that top commit Trent Perry of Harvard Westlake, the California Player of the Year, has rescinded his commitment to the Trojans. Also, Boogie Ellis, Joshua Morgan, DJ Rodman, they're all gone. They've all used up all of their eligibility. Also, Oziah Sellers, Kajani Wright, they have entered the portal. Isaiah Collier is considered certain to enter the NBA draft. So this is going to be a dramatically different looking Trojans team, no matter how you slice it. But you could still argue that Musselman is an upgrade over Enfield and might be the best coach in Los Angeles right now for college hoops. When Enfield was hired 11 years ago, let's talk about the Trojans first. When Enfield was hired 11 years ago, just getting the Trojans to the NCAA tournament would have been considered an accomplishment. Enfield got the Trojans in 3 consecutive years, and that was considered a high for the program. Musselman passed that in 5 years at Arkansas. USC's much ballyhooed recruiting class going into last season under Enfield never gelled. UCLA and the Trojans both stunned their fans with a failure to qualify for the postseason. So, considering that Musselman led in Nevada to 3 consecutive tourney berths and that the Trojans have more resources than Nevada ever could, it stands to reason that Musselman could push his program to new heights. In other words, USC and UCLA, even though right now you would look and say UCLA has the better roster, it's possible that very quickly this rivalry will be just as brutal on the court as it is on the gridiron. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Once again, to repeat, Eric Musselman, former NBA coach, has left the University of Arkansas, hired to coach USC basketball. If you enjoyed this chat, this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelinos. We talk LA sports and USC sports every day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelinos is a Quian Corte El Queso production. Take care.